Yes, it is true that the Australian government has implemented the capping on international students. So in this video, we will discuss what the new changes are, how it impacts the higher education and vocational education students who are exempted from these changes comparison to the previous year data. Australia's Education Minister Jason Clare on Tuesday, August 27, announced plans to introduce a National Planning Level (NPL) to cap the number of new international students at 270,000 for the calendar year 2025. This cap marks the 2025 year the lowest intake in the past 5 years. It means all the students who will or are applying for February, July and November intake of 2025 will get come into effect under these new changes. It also means that only 270,000 student visas will get issued for 2025 year among international students. But wait, it had been pending for the parliamentary approval. The number would be capped at 270,000 with the individual limits to be set as per institution. It means specific number of seats will be given to Australian universities and colleges to enroll students. In a press conference, Mr. Jason Clare told that they are writing to universities setting out their individual levels. For universities, their number next year will be roughly the same as what they were last year. However, some big universities, it will be lower than it was last year. And for some of the smaller universities that have been hit hard by the Ministerial Direction 107, it will be higher next year than it is in this year. It means more number to enroll international students will be given to the smaller or regional universities than the bigger ones. Of the maximum 270,000 new international students who will be admitted in 2025, public funded universities will admit only 145,000 students, maintaining the 2023 level in terms of admissions. But however, the number of new intakes will be go down for the vocational education and the training sector, which is VET, as they will enroll only 95,000 new students, while other universities and non-university providers will see their intake capped at 30,000. The second change is the removal of Ministerial Direction 107. Firstly, we will understand what the Ministerial Direction 107 is. Ministerial Direction 107 is a framework signed in December 2023 by the Home Affairs Minister Clare O'Neil for prioritizing and assessing offshore subclass 500 student visa applications on the basis of level of universities. Means under this framework, visa officers will prioritize applications faster of those who applied in level 1 universities than level 2 and level 3. But Mr. Jason Clare on Tuesday said that they will remove this Ministerial Direction 107. Why they remove? Let's get into it. In a press conference, Mr. Jason Clare told that under this Ministerial Direction 107 framework, a few universities have got a lot more international students this year than they did last year, and a lot of universities have got a lot less. And it's why a number of universities over the last few months have come to him and asked him to put in a place a different, better, and a fairer system. The universities like Newcastle, Wollongong, Griffith, Charles Darwin, Lathrop, the University of Tasmania, they are sort of universities that have faced less enrollments under this framework because they are in level 2 and level 3. Here is the conclusion. So after removing that framework, now students can apply at any university whether it is level 1, 2 or 3. The visa assessing authorities will not prioritize application based on university's level, and due to this, the visa grant would also be get increased. This brings me to the next point, which is why Australian government is doing the capping on international students. So there are major 3 reasons behind it. The first one is housing shortages. The Australian government and its citizens thinks that the influx of the international students has contributed to housing shortages in major Australian cities. Capping student numbers aims to ease the pressure on the housing market. Second thing is getting less enrollments. Universities which are in level 2 and level 3 are getting less enrollments of international students So after implementing the capping, particular number of enrollments would be given to all universities to make the system better and fairer. And the third reason is the government is paring back student visas in an effort to get the net migration level under control and return them to the pre-pandemic levels. Now, checking out some people opinion on this capping policy. Professor Lanley, who is the director of Australian Centre for Student Equity at Curtin University, is critical of how government policy keeps changing. He told that during the pandemic, we said that students go home. Then after the pandemic, we would like to welcome you back. Now that there's some pressure on parts of the system, again we can't accommodate you. Vicky Thompson, who is the group of 8 chief executives, said that unexplained target of 2,70,000 gave the sector no comfort. This policy was bad yesterday and it is bad today. This policy would punish the universities that have proven to be the most popular for the very best global students. Because group of 8 universities will get less number to enroll students as compared to other smaller original universities. The University of Melbourne Vice Chancellor Professor Duncan Maskell took a similar view, saying that more transparency was needed around how the government came to its numbers. He said that one of the first things that they will have to do is to seek the clarity from the government about how the complex methodology that was used to inform their figures, as this methodology was never discussed with them and there has been no consultation process to allot the numbers. Apart from this, Chris Moran, who is the Vice Chancellor and the CEO of University of New England, which is in New South Wales, said that they are happy with the allocation, said that the number we have received we think is a reasonable number. We are the lowest enrolling international university at the moment in Australia. So we would expect us to still to remain at the modest level. Now coming to the next question, which is who are exempted from these changes. So some categories of students are however excluded from the cap. These include school going students, those pursuing research degrees, students undertaking standalone English language courses (ALICOs), non-award students, government-sponsored scholars, students that are part of an Australian transnational education arrangement, foreign government scholarship holders.